Welcome to Syntax. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Front End Happy Hour podcast.
Welcome to this week's JS Party.
Live from Shipshape Studios, this is Whiskey, Web, and Whatnot, with your hosts, Robbie the Wagner and me, Charles William Carpenter III.
That's right, Charles. We drink whiskey and talk about web development. I mean, it's all in the name. It's not that deep.
This is Whiskey, Web, and Whatnot. Do not adjust your set.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Whiskey, Web, and Whatnot with your hosts, Robbie the Wagner, Charles William Carpenter III, and Adam Thomas Argyle the Nerd.
Damn it. I thought I'd get to be the guest today. Oh, well, maybe another time.
All the hosts are here, man.
Stuck with us, yeah.
All the hosts be hosting.
Yeah, we do be hosting.
Might as well call us GoDaddy.
Ooh.
We're all daddies? I don't know. It's kind of...
It's true.
Yeah, what a name for a domain or hosting or whatever they are.
Yeah, they're a
why do
domain
they call themselves
registrar.
that?
I don't know, and I used to work there. Great question. Bob Parsons.
Did they have blackjack there?
Yes, they did. Bob Parsons was the founder, and he founded, or he was like a co-founder of Intuit, and then once he sold that, he started GoDaddy.
Sounds like a phrase people yelled at him that he just loved. He was like, yeah, I love it when you tell me to go
GoDaddy. Yeah, because he's older gentleman, and maybe that was part of it. I mean, we saw many of the commercials that kind of play onto that. They actually started as an ISP though too, and then kind of pivoted to a registrar later. I don't know. No idea.
The only worst name is Log Rocket. You're like, just a turd shooting out an ass, huh? That's your company name? Log Rocket.
Yeah. I've
Great.
had a lot of fiber.
Sounds really good.
Log Rocket. Had a bunch of apples today. Some broccoli. Anyway, wow. So this show's really gone downhill since I last listened.
Yep. You know what else has gone downhill? Our whiskey budget.
Well, today, Bob, I'll be having stuff I made in my bathtub. Or close enough.
Yeah.
Hey,
no,
listen.
This is Evan Williams Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. It is 86 proof, not age stated, but probably around 5 years old from what I'm told. And it is 78% corn, 10% rye, and 12% malted barley.
Look at you. Yeah, so this is it's a bottom shelfer, but it's got a plastic cap, but a glass bottle. You could do worse. That's what I think. Ooh, yeah.
There is definitely worse than this. Oh, I poured a lot of that.
They got a slight cola flavor or smell to this flavor. I don't know.
Why am I
haven't
not
even had
surprised?
any yet. I had one glass of wine with dinner, which was 4 hours ago.
Smells like dried apricots.
It smells like rubbing alcohol, which must be the cheapness of it. It's like you're not disguising that very well.
Smells like rich mahogany, kind of like my apartment.
Yeah, I can't smell very much. I've been a little bit sick, so.
It's all the cocaine.
It's going around, sickness going around. My kids are sick. My wife was sick. I dodge the bullets all the time. I'm like
you're
Neo
not
around
down
here
with
with
it?
like germs. I'm just like, oh yeah, down with the sickness. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you
Yeah,
picked it up.
or you're just bringing sicknesses home and are asymptomatic, and you're like, I don't know.
Okay, I've got one. I've got something here. It kind of smells like, those like old gum packs, like I don't know, you had like a mint
Is there
one.
a zebra
and
on
like,
it? Oh yeah.
Oh, the zebra
Big
ones,
red
yeah,
gum.
but it doesn't smell like, there's like not Wrigley Chew. Yeah, maybe like Wrigley Chew or something like that, which is almost like they put sugar on like an old baseball glove and then had you chew that a little bit for a minute, and it smelled like gummy. I don't know. It was like, it smells like that.
I think that might have been before my time. I don't know what you're talking about. I know like a bazooka gum, like,
Yeah,
I'm guessing
right.
not similar to that.
Not pink. It was like a tan colored gum, but it was like in the 5-pack flat like things. And
Oh, was it yellow?
Yeah, yellow.
There
pack.
was a really cheap yellow pack that had kind of beige-ish gum.
Yes,
Oh, I ate a
this
lot of it. It
stuff.
was really cheap. It was pennies.
It was cheap. It was like nothing. You'd like Big Red, which would be like the cinnamon gum, and then you had like this and like a green one too. I can't remember
Yeah,
what they were all called. But see, I'm not crazy, and it's not just for really old people, which I did get older. the other day.
You did?
And I have yet to receive my card from either of you, which is like ridiculous.
Must have gotten lost in the
Looking
mail.
out every day. I'm running out. And I'm like, maybe today, maybe one day later. No, never came. So here we are. I only showed up just to make you all feel bad. Anyway, yeah, that's what I
You
smell.
can't get away. It's just too good.
I know.
Was it double mint? Wrigley's double mint?
Okay, so the double mint, I thought was the
Double
green
mint
pack.
is good.
Yeah, that's the green
Double
pack.
mint gum.
Yellow pack.
Yeah, Wrigley
Juicy
gum,
fruit,
though.
bro. Juicy fruit.
Was it juicy
Wrigley's Juicy Fruit. It's the yellow one.
That's
And
the
yeah,
Wrigley
dude, it would
thing.
lose its flavor in 5 seconds. It was
Exactly. Yeah,
the
that's how they got
worst.
so
Okay.
rich.
So
You
I know
know?
what juicy fruit is. I was unaware of that's what you were trying to describe.
But what it smelled like not fruity. It smelled kind of gummy, and I don't know.
Oh,
Yes,
it's pretty
so-
not great. All
Yeah.
of those gums were like, hey, this is awesome for like the first chew. And then it's
Yeah.
like, you know what?
you
I've
just-
wanted to spit this out for the last 30 minutes, but I haven't been near a trash can.
Yeah.
So
and you're like, you didn't just swallow it. You're like, I don't want this going through my.
it stays there for 7 years, man. You can't do it.
guts.
Who
Yeah,
knows
that's what they
these
say.
days? Yeah.
That's how those Wrigley's got so rich, though. You know, they set up the field. Actually,
Planned
there's
obsolescence.
there's
gum-
a Wrigley
gum plant
mansion in Phoenix. I looked at it as a wedding venue at some point, but did not opt for it. But have been to dinner there. Would recommend.
Sounds like
All
it'd
right,
be
let's taste this.
sticky place to get your.
I've been tasting
Wow,
this.
wow.
It's like you open up a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch and then you lick the inside of the cardboard. And then
Yeah.
that's what you got here.
I don't think I can do better than that description. I'm going to be
That
honest.
was pretty accurate. If you
That's
added a
kinda
little
straight
more
on.
bitterness than what I would imagine the cardboard would taste like, that is a very spot on flavor.
Yeah. Like, this is not a sipper necessarily, but we'll see. I don't like wasting, so we'll see how that goes. But it's not horrible, but it is like strange to call this whiskey. It is better.
it's
than
not better with water.
Fire? No. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
like
my
maybe
goodness.
with ice or something.
No, I got it on ice. I
maybe
have
if
one of
you-
each. I have a neat and I have one with it was a bucket of ice and I poured some in and
yeah.
wow, I prefer
Okay.
the neat.
Yeah.
Maybe if you dilute it with a different whiskey, it'll taste better.
Yeah, maybe if you dump it out and pour in better whiskey, it will be like much better, I think. Yeah. Okay, well, I don't know. We're all really loving this. First, I haven't heard this yet, I don't think. Not for a while. I mean, not ever, but not for a while. Adam, could you explain to me, remind me what the rating system is? Because I'm
Yes.
trying to place this and I can't remember what to do.
Thank you, Chuck. I've been dying for you to ask me this question my whole life. It's 0 to 8 tentacles. 0 being I wouldn't even clean my toilet with. I wouldn't even pour that on my enemy's face. 4 being middle of the road. It's whiskey. They did it. Great. Unexciting. Maybe I'll give it away. 8 being clear the shelves. This is all I want for the rest of my entire life of whiskey. This is it. So 0 to 8.
Okay. Yeah, that gives me better context. I guess I
wanna
should
rate it?
start.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll go.
Do it.
I did ask for the system. Okay. I don't think I would pour this on my enemy's face or in the toilet. That's pretty extreme. I'm probably going to keep drinking it throughout this hour. But beyond that, who knows? Yeah, it is a very cinnamony taste. It feels very lightly aged. It's got way too much burn for an 86 proofer. And I find it difficult to say, like, well, maybe this would be okay in this cocktail. Don't know what you guys paid, but it was like 20, I don't know, let's say 22 euros. Conversion is impossible for me. But in that price point, give or take, there's, I mean, even just like a Jack Daniels or something of that like nature, like pretty basic, much better than this. So I'm going to go 2. I'm giving it a 2. It's not great. Would not pick up again. I feel like in the lower shelf, Evan could have done a better job. This is the black label, to be clearer. So in these lower ones, there's actually a green label and a white label, and I am certain that those are better. So look for those if you see those instead. Yeah, 2. I'm going 2.
All right. Yeah, I am similarly not impressed. I don't think I'm going to give it a 2, though. 2 is a little harsh. Although the flavor of this is also harsh. So let's say 3.
Nice. I liked your comment about it not being aged long enough. Is that why it's still so rubbing alcoholish and not? It doesn't taste
That
influenced by the
contributes.
barrel. It doesn't
Yeah.
taste. Yeah.
Yeah, it contributes. I think it's cheaper ingredients. I think like everything about it is like a skimp, and that's why it's cheap, but you can do better for cheap. So
Nice. Yeah, I'm happy to have tasted something not good because I have been quite fond of many of the things I've had on here. I especially liked the Crown Black. I'm like, that was yummy. And then I thought I really loved the blue Japanese whiskey blend. Yeah, the ow or ayo. It was better than this one. But once I went between the two, I was like, whoa, I really like the. Anyway, I'm rambling because I want to give this one quite a low number. It's nice to have something that's low. So yeah, 2 or 3. This is going to be something I mix into, peach fresca, and I'm going to make sure there's a lot more peach fresca than whiskey in there. So this will be my
sounds
bottom
delightful.
mixer.
yeah, definitely that's the best way to deal with the rest of this, which is cover it up with other things. I would say that I would consider it to try to do a last ward, but I don't even think I'd waste it on that. I did pick up some chartreuse as well and try to tease you guys with maybe pick up some chartreuse and we'll taste that and da-da-da. But anyway, worst case
I
scenario.
thought about it, but then I was like,
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite cocktails is called The Last Word, and it includes chartreuse, gin, cherry cordial, lime juice. I think, give or take, that's it. But it is like delicious, and you can do it with, I think, typically rye, and it's called like The Last Word or Ward. Sorry, with that. So it's a nice like variation there, but. Maybe I'd try it with this, but I'm like, no, maybe I won't. I don't want to ruin it with that. Probably just get some damn Coke and get it over with.
yeah. So before I forget, anyone that is not doing anything October 12th to 14th, come hang out in Raleigh with me at All Things Open. If you want some free tickets, let me know, and we'll get you a link to get a free ticket. And by let me know, I mean anywhere on social media or go to whiskey.fm/contact. I'll be there.
Man.
I'll have wine. You can have some. I have shirts too and stickers.
Or
No
I
Legos,
message
though.
in this chat right now, or many things.
Yeah, you can message in the chat if you're watching right now, I guess. Any way you want to contact me. You want to call my landline that I don't have? Do it.
Yeah, or his cell phone, or go to his house, which is at. Just kidding.
Yeah, what's Ken
I was like,
Wheeler's
ooh,
number? Can we have him be the receptionist and just...
Yeah. Can you just sort through the riffraff for me? Thanks, Ken. Oh,
Okay.
right. Allora.
A lot of security issues over the past couple of weeks here. It's been a
NPM,
bad
it's useless.
time. Yeah, bad time to be a JavaScript or Ruby or probably other things developer. I haven't kept up with all of it. Yeah, I mean, starting with the NPM one, like this is the second or third like NPM vulnerability thing in like the past couple months. I feel like it's been like nonstop, like people just attacking everything on NPM, and it's like they fix it, sure, but like not before there's a lot of repercussions.
But most of the time, isn't it just searching for like crypto wallet stuff so that they can just drain crypto wallets? I don't know. So it's like, sure,
I don't know the
vulnerable.
intent, but it's it's like getting keys usually, like looking for secrets and things and just publishing them so that they can like access. I don't know. There's probably stuff that is, good, like gives you money if you access it and hack it. I don't know. But like the crypto thing makes sense. But like, I don't know how much of that would be in NPM packages. Maybe private NPM packages or like private GitHub repos might have like, I'll just store my
if you
wallet in here.
were- Yeah, if you were, I think it's more around like if you're working on a blockchain app and you install this package as a dependency, which makes it part of your app, and then you have keys there, it would be, you would in that way have some kind of access. I don't know, very high level reading over things, but it is interesting. Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate around that, which is, does this mean you should be a bit more, especially in like a production application or something, that you should be a bit more careful about how you deal with dependencies and upgrades and stuff? Like, you're pinning things instead of like allowing minor or patches even, and or you could be doing security scans somehow in your CI/CD, right? Like if you're going to YOLO it up, fine, but like as it goes through CI/CD before it ever like hits the internet per se, there's like a FOSSA scan or something of that nature. I don't know.
I mean, a lot of people were using automated scans of some sort, I'm sure. I don't know if they just weren't finding it or like maybe it was subtle enough that it wasn't finding it, but there is a new thing in PNPM. I forget what it's called, but there's a flag where you can say like, if this was released in like the last day or two, just don't install it.
Yeah, I like that. Like wait a week or something. You can set a delay on package upgrades, which is kind of nice because then you let it kind of settle out into the wild.
Yeah, you should always pick like one extra day. Like if everyone's doing a week, do 8 days. Because like I think it was Nullvox or somebody was talking about that, and we're like, yeah, if everyone just picks like a couple days, then everyone that's trying to attack something will just like wait a couple days. Like you need it to be a random amount of time or something.
And these were all social hacks too, right? So this is gaining keys through phishing generally. So it's kind of just plain. So it's not NPM's vulnerability. It also wasn't Ruby's vulnerability. This was humans being suckered by a list. And then, they click the link and then it's almost like you've seen the movie Ransom or these other ones where they like steal your child and then they're like, you need to give us $1 million and you can't tell the authorities at all. It's almost like that's happening here. And so we need a new tech movie. It's kind of what I'm getting at. We need a tech movie where some developer gets an email. Dun, dun, dun. It looks so normal. They click it and then all hell breaks loose. And the movie voice comes in and it tells us all about like he wanted his babies back. His keys had been taken. And then,
in a world, like that kind of thing. In a world where you thought you were safe on the internet. Yeah.
So but there's like no ransom. It's almost like they just go on and just like say they have it. I don't know. Or I guess this one tried to steal things, but I don't know. Ruby's was interesting. It's like someone touted it on Reddit. They're like, look at me. I've got control. What y'all going to do? Anyway,
and they're like, we're going to do a hostile takeover that now makes us appear to be like the WordPress organization or something. It was like the after effects were strange, it seemed.
Yeah, I think it seemed way more legit. I didn't read a ton about it, but like it seemed like it was actual people who were like RubyGems maintainers or owners that were like, I'm just going to revoke everyone else's access and then give a bunch of other people access and change the name. Do you know the backstory, Adam, on what happened there? Or
I don't.
Okay.
I mean, I read things kind of similar to what you're saying is that, so bad thing happens around RubyGems, and then so the main company that has been like the steward of the registry, like just one day it shows up like this guy comes in, he's actually the owner and has booted everyone out. And then it's like, oh wait, sorry, that was too much. Let people back in, and then like a few days later did it again for whatever reason. So
yeah, I don't know what you stand to gain other than like people disliking you, because all the packages are free, right? Like I don't use Ruby, so I don't know how it works, but like
Sounds like it's worth a lot of money. It's how many gems are in there. But ching.
Wow, wow. They're just rubies.
So
if you could have gotten diamonds or sapphires, come on.
Yeah, they should have called it treasure chest. That would have been a better name.
Ooh.
Keep all the rubies in.
That's a great question. I mean, there's a company behind it, and you got to feel like there's some level of financial gain there, but it's hard to say. The business of open source is interesting. So what you're saying is, I think it was like David Kramer, somebody said at some point, like back in the day when he was writing software, and he was a Django guy, and so he would bring in a package like, oh, here's my dependency, and then he would just copy it and use it locally, and then just do that for his upgrades instead of like having this build time operation of like gathering dependencies and pulling them in so that he could actually be aware of like everything that was happening within his application. And I'm like, that's really interesting. It sounds like a giant pain in the ass, to be honest, which is like why nobody really does that. But if you are like serious about security, if you're just serious about bugs or whatever else, you're just like being like, this is my space and everything in here belongs to me. I mean, it's all the same, I suppose, right? If you just copy the code over, you're not like copying the code over and then being like created by David Kramer, you know? I mean, I don't think he did that, but he's just using a local version until he needs something else.
I think that's like, I don't know, maybe this is a bad analogy, but I want to say that's like being like, hey, okay, I've got Netflix, but what if the internet's down? So I'm going to buy every single movie that exists on Netflix on DVD just in case. Because like I might want to, like, giving up that convenience for that much, like, it feels so cumbersome. And like, I feel like if things get owned enough, like if all of NPM is like demolished tomorrow, or like things that the entire web is built on, either there will be a very quick remediation and we'll all be fine, or we basically are just going to not have jobs because you can't run the internet anymore. And in either case, I don't need to have downloaded all of my packages.
Yeah. I think an analogy is this, possibly. I can check out or you still can, but whatever. Like back in the day, I could go to the library and get DVDs. And I'd be like, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to go see this DVD. I'm going to copy it real quick to my computer in case my DVD player breaks. And that way I can still watch it, right? Like technically, I'm just borrowing it. You know, I'll delete it when I'm done. Or whatever. Maybe it's like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
What about for some, like, I think there might be a hot take in here, because there's a huge advantage to, again, maybe it's even like a risky or safe play, where you're loading things from CDN, and you can put a version number in there, or you can grab latest. Mm-hmm. You grab latest, when they deploy fixes, you get the fixes, right? And let's say it's 99% of the stuff that you acquire over 6 months using latest are gains and awesome things. But then that one time, something malicious sneaks in, and you deployed it for a little while because you were using the latest thing there, versus someone who pins it always, has to micromanage it, is wasting energy on dependabot alerts that are constantly incrementing its version. They accept them. They pretty much blindly accept them. It's highly likely they would blindly accept a dependabot alert that tried to update it to a nefarious version. So what is the right way to do this? Is it to pull latest and be risky, or pin it and add a chore for your future self forever until this thing stops updating?
Yeah.
I think it depends on what your business is. If it breaking would cause your entire business to crumble and everyone would be fired, then you're probably doing the safer one. But if you're like building a personal website that's cool to look at and like read some blog posts on or something, you're probably like, I don't care. Like, just throw out the latest.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's many layers in between. I think more often
than let's talk about the in-between layers too.
Okay. I mean, because I think more often than not, I'm at least accepting patches, and sometimes even up to minor versions.
But that's the problem is, those could be vulnerable too. Like, just because they published it as a patch doesn't mean it actually was a patch.
Because it's subjective. Like, we have Semver, and it's kind of supposed to be you're right, it's supposed to be the rules, but like, just like open source, it's sort of like, we all agree as a nice community that this is how it works. But as soon as you have a bad actor there, they can be like, oh yeah, fuck you and your patches. I'm putting all this malware in there.
Yeah, you could do what Google did, which is they clone everything from NPM into their mono repo. Mm-hmm. So that if you want to use something, you don't go get it from NPM. You get it officially cloned into the mono repo, and then you reference the mono repo. So if NPM did go down, Google doesn't go down. So they have that interesting advantage. And then there's also Snowpack in here, where Snowpack kind of reduced the amount of nefarious things that could happen because you only pulled down the bundled module. You didn't pull down the entire repo and all the source files and all the readmes and the images and the marketing and the junk like that. You just pulled down the file you were going to reference. It seemed way more optimized, and it is harder to get a bug into there. But maybe not. Maybe it's just as easy. I don't know. Anyway, I feel like those are in between stages that are kind of like, who's doing it right? I don't know.
It also seems that like a lot of the targets have been like not your primary packages, but like nested dependencies too. So it's like it's buried a little bit. You don't really realize, oh, this bumped this version, and which bumped to that version and that version and that version, and all of a sudden, like 5 dependencies down, that was your thing.
Yeah, it's all hard. You basically just have to trust that everything is fine.
Trust no one.
Even determining what a breaking change is, I feel like, is like up to interpretation. Like, one that always pissed me off, if you're technically wanting to be right about like what's a breaking change, right? You would say, if I increase, like if I drop node version support, like this needs node 20 now, or node 22 or whatever, but none of the API of the library changed, I would consider that not a breaking change, because nothing changed, just like I'm not supporting a node version. But like a lot of people would disagree, like, oh, I can't run it now, so that's a breaking change. Like, but I didn't change anything. Like, so
Right. It just gets annoying because that little package thing says, oh, it has to be between here and here. And that's really just more of a personal opinion. It's not like you were leveraging a particular API in Node that is no longer supported or has changed. So technically, it's fine. That was just your choice to be like, not supported, and I'm going to make it official.
Yeah, but tools now usually warn you about that. Like, even if I said it's a patch and you installed it, it'll be like, the engines is not compatible with like your node version or whatever.
But it's nothing but you think it's not compatible, or you've said it's not compatible, even though technically it probably is. Because
that's true. So you can do ignore engines and it still usually works.
Yeah, there you go.
This just in, Whiskey.fund is now open for all your merch needs. That's right, Robbie. We're hearing reports of hats, sweaters, and t-shirts, as well as a link to join our Discord server. What's a Discord server? Just read the prompter, man. Hit subscribe, leave us a review on your favorite podcast app, and tell your friends about our broadcast. It really does help us reach more people and keeps the show growing. All right, back to your regularly scheduled programming.
So you have that.
This episode brought to you by Socket.io. Protect your NPM packages by leveraging our service, which deeply inspects and monitor. I can't remember what the whole pitch is, but that's what they do, right? Socket.io is they are constantly scrubbing dependencies. No? Oh, crap. Oh, Socket.io is the socket tool. Hold on. What is the socket dev?
Yeah, it's
socket?
like WebSocket thing, right? Yeah.
Hold on. Socket.io.
And wasn't that
socket.dev.
Guillermo Rausch? Wasn't that a Guillermo thing?
It was a Guillermo. So Socket.io is the really early node implementation of WebSockets, so real-time stuff was. But then there's Socket.dev. I'm going to share that in the channel now, which is run by name starts with F, and he's cool. I like him. What is his name?
Fuck that guy. F. No, I don't know. Fernando. Freddie.
Damn it. No, it's
Fast
a
Times
little
at
more
Ridgemont
different
High.
than that. It is Frost. Yes, Frost. Yeah, Frost started this. He sort of recognized that we were vulnerable and started a company and got investment, and now is trying to protect people's dependencies through AI, other scrubbing and monitoring. And so it's like when things go sour, they were there first. Anyway, so this episode not brought to you by Socket.io, but Socket.dev, and that's how we don't get sponsors, because I misread the read.
Still getting a bill.
Yeah, we'll send you a bill.
Still sending you a bill. Hopefully you pay it. Because we're drinking swill. Come on. Hook us up, bro.
You got rhymes, bro. You're going to flow.
I'm working on it. My beatboxing and all of that. It's just my pivot, my career pivot.
So I want to talk about this Tailwind being a bad state management library, because I don't think I understand the joke. I at first thought it was just like, it's obviously not a state management library. So it's like, haha, yeah, it's not a good state management library because it's not one. But I think there's some nuance to it that I don't get. What's your take, Adam? What you said you thought you understood what they were saying?
Let's say you have many visual things that need to change based on state. Okay, so it's not just one. You want to toggle one class? That's pretty much traditional style with CSS, right? You toggle one class, then with that one toggle, you go change a bunch of stuff. And I know David Piano likes to put state into attributes, because then they can only be one at a time, right? Your data state is true or false, as opposed to you could have you could have multiple classes, or you'd have two classes. One class that says true, one class that says false. But if you have data state equals true, it can only be true or false. So he likes to sort of put you in a scenario where you don't have multiple types of state trying to fight each other in the class name string, which I think is fair. But as soon as you've got like something that changes state and changes the width and the height and the border and the color and all this stuff, well, that's a pain in your butt. So now you're swapping many classes using the microsyntax not in line on the element where you might traditionally be doing it. Either that or you are, and you're using use state, and then you're toggling between a whole bunch of strings of classes, and it's sort of a switch, or maybe you're now making a function out of it. So your function takes the state and returns a set of class strings. I think that's what he's trying to say here. It's like your cool solution is really shitty when I have a lot of things to change or I have a lot of state to manage, because now I'm juggling classes, and juggling classes don't just make my component portable anymore. Now my component has a bunch of strings attached, and these functions have to come with it that balance and juggle these strings. That's what I think what he meant. I don't know.
Was that a dad joke? Strings attached?
No, for me, it's the, have I told you all the thing that's object-oriented programming? You ask for a banana, but you got a gorilla holding a banana.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Okay. So that's like all the strings attacked.
Listen, classes are fine. I don't want to hear
Yeah, you tried to grab a banana and had a bunch of strings attached to it, one of which was connected to a gorilla. But
banana whiskey.
So the thing that I would always say about Tailwind, though, is it's just CSS. So like if you want to have 15 Tailwind classes, you can be like .foo is my new class and apply the 15 things, and then you can just toggle that thing off and on. I don't know. I feel like you can do all the same sort of things. It just requires more setup.
See, I don't know. I saw some argument about like a child modifier or something in the Cascade or something. I don't know. It's like instead of adding your classes to these like 15 things, just put this on the parent and it's a child modifier. And then other people were like, that's ridiculous. Da, 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 da. And then someone else is like, it's just the Cascade, which is just CSS. It's, it's nice. Yeah, I don't know.
Nice,
so
nice is a stretch. The Cascade is hard, man.
Well, yeah,
trying to get everything right.
Of course, yeah. And then you always have like teammates who would add something in the middle instead of the bottom, and not realizing that the Cascade just means read from top to bottom, you dumb fuck. Right? Anyway, that was the thing I saw. So I didn't see this other like state thing, but I do see that.
I saw that one
also.
too. Who did say that? I saw that also. That was a good one. There's a lot of good hate this week.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get into the real hot take.
Oh yeah,
that might have been David that said that one too. Oh yeah, what is it? Let's hear it.
David Piano or Piano?
C.
Which is it? Well,
It's
Piano is Italian
his
for
name.
slow. Oh, okay.
He's David Khorshid, but for some reason he's David K. Piano. I don't know.
Maybe he used to play.
Doesn't he play piano?
Or he's slow.
I would really hope so, because otherwise
think so.
that's
It's real weird otherwise.
yeah.
David K, like, what's up with your name, bro? Yeah, so let's talk about immigration. I mean, I'm fighting reverse immigration, but lots of talk, lots of opinions all over the place about the change in the H-1B visa. I feel like this is very controversial on a lot of levels. People affected.
Yeah. Can we take a step back? And I don't know a lot about the different types of like visas you can get to come in and work, or like what a H-1B even means. Like I know that it means you get to come in and work, right? But like, like why would you get that versus like another kind, or why would you like? How long would you have that, or would you try to just be a full-fledged citizen, or like what? I don't know. Give me some facts on like why you would get this versus something else, if you know.
I am far from expert. So
Okay.
I mean, previous to the fee attachment, I believe that it was not, there was no monetary aspect to it. And I think it was one of those where it was like highly skilled worker, and it's attached per company. So you get this visa, but it's only for that company. So if that company
And that
hires
job,
you,
from what I understand.
so it's like you're really kind of trapped in that specific bucket. So, you can't quit or be fired or any of those things, or you go back home. And then there's the O1, but I thought the O1 was like it did cost, and it was kind of a bit more, but now maybe it's switched and is cheaper. But the discussions are this basically, and obviously like real people are affected by this. So there's like a high level thing of people speaking about like, I'm hiring for such specialized skills, I need to be able to choose from anywhere in the world. And then there's the other side of it, which is, and I think this is a side effect of capitalism. So that's kind of one thing, which is just, I don't have to pay these people shit, and they still very much appreciate what I'm paying them, and they are trapped to work for me at my company, right? Like, you come here, and Robbie's going to cost me $200,000, and this person is going to cost me $80,000. This is where I'm going with it. I think I can get like a workforce that won't complain about overtime and won't want special benefits and won't want whatever.
Is the benefit then you're still paying nothing, but you've got them like basically handcuffed to they can't go anywhere? Because you could hire them remotely from wherever they happen to be living, but I guess they're not then stuck. Like, you want to be completely in control of them. That's
you
like
want to, you want complete control. They come. So I've seen circumstances in positions that I've been at or companies that I've worked with or for where there are folks in this position. They could come over and, rent a house with 3 others that are in the similar position, really like save their cash and do well and like help their families. Sometimes they move over with families, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, like, you're really kind of trapped in that company and position for over time, and they don't have to give you raises. There's a lot of financial advantages from a capitalist standpoint. Mm-hmm. Not to say that they weren't doing a good job or any of those things. And then there's like what they call the body shops, which are like services companies bringing in a bunch of H-1Bs and then using them at a low salary to apply to all kinds of Fortune 500 companies. And then there's the other side of it where bigger companies like Tesla uses it a lot. A lot of San Francisco-based companies have used it for special skills. So it's interesting. Yeah, the gold card program, I barely even understand, other than it looks like a joke, but I think it's real. You can pay $1 million.
Uses Next.js.
Yeah. And which apparently was like memory bleeding or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
wild.
The gold card thing, it's like it's $1 million for a person, or if a company sponsors it, it's $2 million. Yeah, I guess like if you're one of these AI companies that's paying somebody like $1 billion salary, you're probably like, why, yes, I would like for them to instantly be a citizen. I will pay $2 million.
Any visa is not like an easy process. They don't let you just like say, oh, I could pick this guy up off the street. We're going to do the H-1B. Like, it's an arduous process regardless. And I think the gold card thing is kind of like, you pay, come on in. We don't care.
Yeah. They say there's still a background check, but I feel like if you're paying $2 million, it's like,
yeah.
So I think it's like a backdoor for like Russian oligarchs to just be like, hey, what's up? I'm not in trouble for like war crimes anymore. I live here. Like,
yeah. Yeah. It's hard to say why. Let me just say this. I'm enjoying the food here, and I am enjoying the view from afar. Okay?
Yes.
Because
good time to live in Italy for sure.
Yeah. I don't know how
we're all jealous.
It's all going to shake out. But, perfect. Yeah, that was always my goal.
Yes. You just live to make others envy what you're doing. Not for your own pleasure, just to make others upset.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work. There's some bureaucracy and frustrations. But along the way, as long as others are envying me, it seems worth it.
A couple thoughts to it. Yeah, that gold card back door, I called it a smelly back door. Like, it's you're going in the butthole entrance, but you had to pay. It's like, you really gotta. Anyway, I don't like it at all. I don't think I've hated an idea more than that one. It just seems really crazy. But I've had a couple folks in the past couple weeks reach out to me and be like, "Hey, I'm applying for a visa. I need a letter of recommendation. We've worked together in open source. Would you be willing to write a letter of recommendation for me?" In one case, was something like an O1, an alien of extraordinary ability, which is just also a rude thing to call someone.
Yeah, it does seem. Yeah.
Why don't you call them a talented individual or something?
Human.
Nice.
Yeah, non-resident talented person or something like that.
Seriously. But you call them alien of extraordinary ability. It's like, this sounds like a UFO landed and you're going to let them in through the O1 visa. Like, what the hell? But I get these requests, and I got 2 in a week. And so it made me immediately think that they all got a memo I didn't get. They all got some sort of email or letter that said, you're about to be kicked the hell out unless you do something. And then the second thing I felt was, holy shit, I bet there's a lot of people doing this right now. But there's a lot of people trying to stay here to prove their value, and that has got to feel so shitty. You're like, I've been here paying taxes for 6 years. One of these people works at OpenAI. They're like, I work at one of the biggest companies in your stupid country, and you want to kick me out for what?
I think you know for what. I think you know for what.
I have a hunch.
Yeah. So I think you've been the victim of mass layoffs, and there's been tons of layoffs, and not just in tech. And I think that native residents, true real Americans who also stole this country, but I mean, whatever, right? Like that's.
And they still steal from each other, and they're still not nice after that.
But
I think folks
don't get
are
the
angry
point, though, because okay, if you assume that that's the plan, it's like get anyone that isn't a citizen out so that the citizens can have the jobs. Okay, I could see why you would think that could be a good thing, but what makes you think they would give citizens those jobs in their stead? Like, wouldn't they just hire anyone offshore, near shore, some shore, that shore?
I think there'll be some offshore rushes for sure. There'll be some tolerance around that. There will be massive salary. I think tech is on a rush to push salaries down. I think as salaries have just kept rising and rising, and in web development in particular, that there's been some great equalizers that have happened across the board, and I think to a degree there's support for that. Yeah, that this is another one of come on, you're the modern day factory worker, so what makes you think you should get multiple six figures as a salary that you earn that? It's a question. Everything is a question in that sense. We don't have any certainty around that, but I think a lot of moves have been made to equalize the market and reduce the average salary of a web developer for sure. And this is another move around that. So I don't know, at the end of the day, you can go through hoops and deal with visas, or if you could pay Adam Argyle, who lives in the neighborhood of my office, 80 grand instead, because guess what? That's what your market rate is now. Would you do that? I mean, I think you would. And I think it would look good because you're keeping your community employed.
Yeah, and it saves you a ton. There was a tweet about all the big companies, and I forget all the numbers, but I know Amazon, it was they're going to have to pay $940 million a year to keep all the people they have. And it's they're not going to do that. Ain't no way. I've been there. I've met them. They're not doing that. They don't give a shit about any people.
They're making whatever move maintains shareholder value and or increases it.
Yes.
All the time. So it's politically advantageous to keep Americans employed. You appear to be doing something about this problem. Let's be honest, I don't want anyone to be unemployed. I don't want people not able to feed their family. I don't want them to have to go to another place that is less safe. I'm not asking for that, but I also can see that we are not building rockets. We are not feeding children. We have a good job. There are some great challenges there, code is fun and all of these things. I don't push that aside, but maybe this is some great reckoning of well, you're not as important as you thought you were. So get back to it, and let's keep all of us employed and just chill, settle down a little bit.
Yeah, I think that has been happening a lot. Jason Langsdorff, I think, mentioned that on one of the times we recorded with him. He was like, yeah, for some reason, we've decided this is a job that makes a lot of money, and I'm not sure why. I kind of agree.
I'm not mad, but...
Yeah, I enjoy reaping the benefits, but I think there is some level of software engineer that is really complex and should pay a lot of money, and I don't know what that is, and that's maybe a sliding scale, whatever. But I think a lot of the things people making $100 grand plus at web developer jobs, they're doing, here's a div, it has 12 pixels padding, ship it, and making a lot of money. And I think that has gotten very inflated.
Yeah, I think when people were coming out of boot camps in 12 weeks and making six figures, I think that was a tipping point. Took me a decade to hit that.
But you can't fight demand. It's not like these.
No, you're
these
not
didn't
wrong.
pop out the gate like that. Nothing that's really wildly expensive. Like the monks making that whiskey, they didn't come out the gate.
The chartreuse.
Is that it? Oh shit.
Yeah, the chartreuse that I tried to get you guys to buy.
Oh, that's made by monks?
Yeah.
It's made by French monks.
Okay, now
for
I'm
hundreds
interested.
of years.
Yeah, and it's limited, and they don't do it to be limited to make more money.
They
do
almost
limited
quit
because
making
it's-
it because of high demand. Yeah.
because of the high demand. So I mean, demand drives cost up. That's not something that
does.
anybody can control of. And the demand for tech was wild. It was
The demand
absolutely
for
wild.
tech is going
So-
to keep growing, and I think they see that, and they need a much larger pool than we're able to fulfill in any other way. And so the costs are going to have to go down. I think that's a big part of it. And we were trying to fulfill it with education on various levels, and it turns out like learning React just isn't enough, not going to cut it or whatever. And again, I'm not shitting on bootcamp people. I think if you have a passion, I'm a self-taught developer, so like whatever. If you have passion and you put your mind to it and you put your heart in it, it's like you're going to get good. That's not a problem. But
Yep.
I do think it was just the rate of all of a sudden there was this 5-year period where like salaries shot up.
Yeah, things
from,
burst
like-
when they shoot like that. Yeah, that's an unsustainable growth factor. It can't continue. But it just
Happens
seems
in the
weird
housing
to me
market,
that
it
they're
happens-
forcing it down. Like if a plant is growing so fast, why would you cut it down? Won't it naturally
Cost,
peak out?
capitalism.
Yeah, because they want to have more bigger yachts. If you
That's
if you
kind of what
hold
I'm
all
saying.
the
The rich are
cards-
getting richer in this scenario right now. They're not trying
Yeah,
to pass
they
the
are.
wealth down to the workers to get
Nope.
them to make, because they could look at the circle of money saying, if we give more money to the workers and we let them, and they're being faster, bigger, stronger,
That's
that makes
communal.
our business better. But that's not
No.
what's happening here.
Communal
There's a selfish
values
act
do not
happening.
yeah communal values do not drive capitalism, and capitalism has been like, so a CEO has a legal binding to do what's best for shareholders, and that is like one of the fallacies in capitalism that has happened, and that like they can't do anything that is like good for their workers if it would take money away from shareholders. When you go public, you're like stuck in this whole like dichotomy of shareholder value, like constantly.
I was gonna say, but what about like all your employees that own stock? Usually at companies, you're either part of a stock purchase program or getting RSUs or like doing something where you're getting company stock. So you should also be
It's a
valued
small segment though. Like there's like tech that is like that, but like what we tend to forget is there's a ton of non-sexy tech. You work for a finance company that's been around for hundreds of years. They do not have like RSUs and stock buybacks and all these like additional incentives. You work for Macy's, right? Like worldwide known retail giant, Nordstrom, whatever else. Like that's not built into it necessarily. It's
That's
a salary. It's a job. You're a worker. So like when you think about all these additional incentives and all the sexy cool stuff that like that gets talked about, like that is a 10% slice of the job market that is technology. And there's a ton of non-sexy things. There's a billion WordPress sites that still need to live. There's a lot of work to be had. And this is what I say to people like early in their careers is you've got to be willing to accept something less sexy. There's a ton of tech work that doesn't encapsulate any of that. And that's okay, because if you want to be in tech, it's not going away. There's a lot of like shitty old tech that needs maintaining. You know, there's still Perl out there that needs maintaining. There's a lot of this
Yeah.
stuff, and like
just go to shittyoldpearl.ai and we'll help you
Shit.
maintain that.
.ai. There's a business right there, probably. Yeah. Convert it to Rust so it's sexy, or Zig so you
or
can get a bun job.
cobalt.lol. Check that out.
Yeah. So the other, there was an argument with Jared from Bun where he's like, I don't know, like 18 out of 20 of my employees are H-1Bs. What the hell? And I can only find people who are not American who can write Zig. And it's like, maybe it's because nobody's heard of that. But
Somebody had like a clap back at that was like, Facebook can hire anyone they want anywhere, no problem. Microsoft, anywhere, no problem. Like every big company. And it's like tiny JavaScript library can't do it. Like
he also raised like $26 million or something. So I'm kind of like, where are you spending all that money if it's not on salary?
Well, it's not on furniture. I know that.
For those that are wondering, go back about a year and a half and watch
listen to episode 95. I don't know what episode it was.
Yeah, it was. He's
He
like
was in
drinking
a
whiskey
room
out
with
of
no furniture is the joke.
no furniture,
classic San
strong
Francisco
echo.
lifestyle.
Yeah, like AirPods and drinking whiskey out of a coffee cup. Like, I mean, no shade. Like, there was a lot of respect there because he's a smart guy. So there's no doubt about that. But
he's
was
doing
like,
great stuff. Like, anyone that thinks we're shitting on him, we're not. It's just a funny joke.
He just maybe hadn't slept for days and was just like, all right, I'm going to take this podcast as a meeting real quick and then move on to my next thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want to swap away from politics just for a bit to get a little bit more into web and AI because I did something that I haven't seen a whole lot of other people do. So first off, this is a Claude trick. I think you can do it with Codex and some of the other CLIs right now where I have defined a bunch of agents. My goal was to write in Markdown all of the different roles my brain does in web dev. So I'm a UI designer. I'm a UI developer. I'm a UX developer. I'm a UX engineer. Well, this is the same thing, whatever. Anyway, I'm a CSS developer. I'm a TypeScript noob, but I called myself a TypeScript pro, obviously, in the thing. Mm-hmm. And so I'm kind of authoring, and I authored about 10 different personas. So from accessibility to markup to containerization to backends, anyway, whatever. Once you have this list and you've sort of like taken as much of your little brain knowledge stuff as you can and put it into Markdown for it to be like, these are the things you're good at. Here's why you do it. Here's what to look for. Always do this. Never do that type of stuff, which took me hours, which felt really productive, but maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I'll find out soon. Anyway, so you have this list of agents. And with these agents, most people who use Claude only ask single Claude to do something. And if they want two Claudes, they open up a tab. Did you know? Then you can say, Claude, parallelize 4 of my agents that you believe are the correct agents. Monitor these 4 agents in parallel as they work on. I gave it a good example the other day was make a light dark theme switch on my site. Actually, I said a multi-theme switch. I don't want just light and dark. I want multiple themes that are named and beautiful. So take the UI designer, the UX engineer, the CSS engineer, and the TypeScript pro. Take these 4 and in parallel have them plan, build, and deliver this feature in my repo right now. And all of a sudden, poof, in one terminal window, all 4 begin, all 4 start slurping tokens. You can just see money is just leaking out your eyeballs as these things are like gobble, gobble, gobble tokens. Now I make new decision, gobble, gobble tokens.
It's like Chuck E. Cheese in 1995.
Yeah, seriously.
And so then I take all these and I like watch them and they run way longer than your other ones because they'll finish and then submit the work back up to the orchestrator, Claude. That Claude's like, all right, well, we're waiting on the other agents. The other agents ask a question to the main orchestrator. He asks it to the other one. You all of a sudden I was basically employing, and I got weirdly addicted to this the other night where I was like sitting here watching all of my not employees and I was calling them thems or whatever. I was like, look what they're doing. And my wife's like, they're not people, dork. Quit being such a nerd with your computer. But I was like watching multiple instances of multiple groups of agents fulfill my tasks. And I was getting better results because it wasn't just a prompt. It was a prompt that then they turned into a plan, a CSS today. And then these agents take that work and go the next level. And then they cross-check each other's work, constantly referring to the agent's markdown file that I gave them to hold on to tenants and things that they believe in. And ultimately, one request costs a bunch of money. Yeah, go ahead.
Does each one then, because you were like, you're a TypeScript expert, you're a CSS expert, whatever. Is there like one agent that's like, I'm the TypeScript guy, and I'm going to come through and like check all your types and make sure everything is cool? Is it just
a domain
all of the
specialist, yeah.
things kind of like spread across whatever agent wants it?
No, it picks the one that's right.
Okay.
So you can either specifically say, use the CSS agent to create a CSS robust token color system, for example, and it would go employ specific. And at that point, it's basically just taking the markdown agents file, preloading it into context, and then executing the task for the AI agent. So that's not that cool, but it gets really cool when you have one AI agent managing other AI agents, and you don't let it complete until the task is verifiably complete, and you let each of those be domain experts. So when you define these agents, you do say not only just their name, you say, this is your description, which also is a strong hint of when to use me. So if you see things that have to do with styling or custom properties or keyframes and animations, always ask me to do the work.
One. Yeah.
Cool. Yes.
Interesting.
Exactly. So
Nice.
I have this scenario now where I'm not just employing one instance, I'm deploying 4 in parallel. They work a lot longer. They produce better work. And they cost about 25 times more money. Go ahead and ask me anything.
I think everyone though, like that is the problem that everyone is having is like they're not producing good work. So I think there is a monetary, limit. You're not going to spend $50,000 on AI tokens to like build a stupid little app. So like whatever, but something to make it work better and be more specialized is what everyone needs, because they're all very like, oh, I can do everything, but I do it all poorly. Here's 10,000 lines of code for a thing that's actually built into the browser already. You're welcome. And it's like, okay, I wish you were a little more specialized. Related, the only good AI experience I've had thus far is with OpenCode. I started using it.
Yeah.
Fucking fire. Like Dax, you can pay us for the ad time later. But like OpenCode has been so good, and I don't know why it's better. I know it like, I'm forgetting the acronym, but it like understands TypeScript. Like what's the fucking thing that they hook into? TSP, DLSP, DSL,
MCP?
No, it's like it understands TypeScript. It's not an AI
DSL's
thing.
domain
Don't say
specific
DSL.
language.
That means something
DSL
else.
is no DSL is
I think it's
domain specific
LSP.
language,
Is
but
LSP
it is
a thing? Language.
LSP is
something?
language server protocol. Yeah, so the
I
LSP
think it's that.
So
It's like I understand TypeScript because I connect to that, and it's like so much fucking better. I'm like, there's these TypeScript errors, and instead of being like as any or like ignore, it's like, oh, I actually understand like where these types came from, where they should come from, how to like use generics properly and make this work. And I'm like, holy shit, like this is the first time I've used AI that it's like actually coded something that I want to ship. So good.
Yeah.
there's a lot of competition in this space. Oh, go ahead, Chuck.
I've been using OpenCode a bunch lately too, and I can't really put my finger on it, but it's just been it's been sticky.
I think there's also Codex. It's Codex. CLI. Yeah, but it's Codex here, this
DSL,
one from-
Codex. Jeez, oh,
I know.
Pete, what
Where's
is
my
going
spouse to
on
be here? And she's
here?
like, "What are you talking about? Log rockets and Codex?" And
Oh
she's-
my gosh! Like, what? Are we gonna get sued?
I don't think so. But so okay. There's a lot of these now. So what do we have? Codex. We have OpenCode. We have
Well, I'd
Claude
used Claude Code
and
before, and it was better
Gemini
than
CLI.
like it was better than using just like Claude in the browser.
Yeah,
but it was
yeah.
still like meh, like it's fine. But OpenCode is the first one that I feel like it builds you a to-do list first, and then it
Yeah,
like
the
it will
plan
not keep
mode
going
is-
until it knows it's finished each task in the to-do list. And I'm like,
Exactly.
Nice.
I love.
It's-
I'm working on plan mode. I hit tab, then I'm like, oh, I'm in build mode. Cool. Go ahead. Yeah, I agree. Or do the first 4 steps, and on the 5th one, do this. And I've been getting way better results.
yeah,
Definitely.
and
liking
it'll
it.
stop and be like, can you verify this? Like, hey, I've done this. Can you run the test and see if it like? Whereas other things, I think, keep trying to run the tests, and like I was trying to do a drag and drop thing, which is very like you've got to look at it in the browser because like
Yeah.
is that where you dress up like the other gender and then you fall on the floor?
that is yes, and it was having
Great.
to watch me do that.
Okay.
No, it was no like you know,
Robbie and drag is probably the funniest thing I could think of right now.
Oh, let's ask AI to make that for us.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and get
Oh,
this
man.
picture, and I'm putting it into Nano Banana.
Okay. Anyway, I was trying to say that like anything where you need to like actually click or move things and like it's hard to like automate with like a unit test, it should stop and be like, could you verify that this is doing what you thought it should? Because like otherwise it's just like, yep, I fixed it. It's dope.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
Well, that's
no,
where you
it-
need the playwright MCP. So that's where it spins open the browser and then tries to use the browser to use and verify its own thing. So but I mostly agree that like Claude, when it spins up local dev, I don't want it to do that. I'm like, no, I've got dev server running in another tab. Like I don't need. So a lot of people in their Claude markdowns will tell it to never do that. But I agree that like adding a plan is a great way to continually steer the otherwise dumb word vomit machine.
I always want the plan so I could talk
good.
about what we're going to do. So I always start in plan mode.
Yeah. But then it's like, does it understand the plan? That's my big problem. Is like, it sounds like, whoa, you really understand this. Could you implement it? And it's like, no, like, no way, man. I'm like,
No,
"All right,
but
cool."
you can.
yeah.
I ran out of tokens for today. You're at
Yeah, it's like, let me teach you NeoVim so you could write it.
You don't need
I learned
that.
how Bolt and Lovable work. Have you tried either
Is there
of
just
those?
a
I
team
have.
of people implementing it behind the scenes?
I have tried both of those, but it's been a few months and they were both fucking garbage. But maybe they're better now.
They're still marginally better than your own one-shot prompts, and I learned why. It's because they do the multi-agent parallelization for you in the background. So it's like you were a naive human. Do this thing that I wrote for 5 seconds and make sure it's super beautiful. Fulfill my dreams. And so then it goes and like writes the plan. Doesn't just write the plan, it then distributes the plan amongst its own specialized agents, runs all those in parallel, and does all that stuff in the background for you. So this is why those generally have better results than other people's work, is because most people don't know that they can do that stuff themselves at the CLI level, depending on, I think most of the CLI tools can do that now.
Nice.
But if you like that plan stuff, you got to check out Spec Kit. This episode brought to you by GitHub Spec Kit. Which is a way for you not to just make a basic plan. This is a robust plan. This
Sponsored
is not
by
just
a Phenomena company.
Yeah. And not just like a few bullets that you say tasks 1 through 5. This is steps 1 through 5. Each step has multiple to-dos inside of it, and it'll burn through huge task lists. It feels nice because I like front-loading what my user journeys are. What is the point of my service? Like, so when you make a little to-do list, it's not always grounded in the grander idea. And this is why they don't know what's going on. And they still don't know what's going on, everyone. Even though you give it this plan, it still doesn't know why or what the grander plan is. But it does know that when it makes that next word, it's very likely that you will like it more because of some of the background you gave it. So anyway, just some like weird information about how Bolt and Lovable work, how you can run multiple agents in one terminal to have them group a task and work against each other. And I just thought that was really interesting. I felt like I was powerful over my computer because I had multiple agents working on one problem.
Managing robots could be in our future anyway, so I think it's worthwhile experience and something to experiment with. I don't know why I'm drinking more shitty whiskey, but it, makes the conversation flow.
Is that city whiskey like in South Park? Oh, shitty whiskey.
City whiskey. City whiskey. No, that's not the city whiskey. I can stream South Park. Hey, wait, no, I can stream South Park because I have Proton VPN, and I have that set up.
Proton VPN.
Exactly. I have it configured in my router. So I have 2 routers set up, and I have one that is when I want to watch US stuff, and then I just have the normal router when we just want stuff to go fast, and we don't care. Yeah, so if you want to spoof and pretend like you're in the US, because HBO Max does not work overseas, and there's a couple of similar services, well, guess what? Tricking you, motherfuckers. You're still taking my money, so yeah, do that. Does anybody have clever, your Wi-Fi network name? Like, is it anything funny and clever?
I call mine Super Virus so that it's deterring to people. They're like, oh, I'm not going to connect to Super Virus. I'll connect to the one next to it.
I used to do Abraham Linksys.
I was to say thank you, Cyrus. FBI surveillance van was my old one. My current US one is called Wu-Tang Lan. Because it ain't nothing to fuck with.
Nice. That's a good mic drop.
Yeah, booyah. So there you go. Fun stuff. Proton VPN works pretty good for that. I used to have a different VPN, but it wasn't working very well. So paid for Proton, and it's worked pretty good. I was going to set up like a Raspberry Pi or something in Tucson, but I got busy. And then I was like, also my mother-in-law can't go unplug that thing every once in a while. So fuck it.
I used to have a Cujo security. Let me see if
That's
I can
the
find
dog
a
with
Cujo.
Rabies, right?
Hey, look at this. It's still here. Is it a dog with rabies?
That was a Stephen King book and movie called Cujo, and it's a dog with rabies that like terrorizes the family in town.
Oh wait, this isn't it. Where's Cujo? Oh shit. Oh, here it was. Here's a video. Cujo Smart Firewall 2018. So this was like a little device you put in between your router, like your modem and your network, and so it would constantly get updates and downloads like what's not good. And all your packets that went through it would just scan them and either prevent them or not. And it made sure that people couldn't. It would also randomize the IPs of all the connected devices in your home. So people couldn't just walk by and like sniff out your IPs and then start hacking the vulnerable ones. It would do a lot of like intelligent security thing for just like a plebe. It's like, hey, are you a moron? Are you just wildly making your network available for?
Yes, I am.
You should download Cujo. And I wanted it to
cool.
work so good, and it eventually got really slow, which is probably not surprising, but.
I was going to say, it sounded like a pie hole at first, but then started doing other smarter things. So you're a pie hole.
I have a big pie hole. It keeps talking. I can't stop it.
We are past time.
Overtime.
What would you guys like to plug?
Your face.
Okay. Yourface.io. All right.
I'll plug my website, nerdy.dev. Go check it out. I'm back and blogging again. There's some goodies in there. And take my code, please. Please, I give a lot of free code away. Impress your friends with it.
Cool.
I'd like to plug Como FC in Serie A, in my town, doing really well this season. I don't know. I don't get any money from them.
Check out starpod.dev. Want a podcast website?
Yeah.
You should use it.
We didn't talk about the sparkles we added, man. We added sparkles.
That's true.
So much stuff.
And we paired, and Adam did some great little, I don't know what you call it. Sparkles is a good word, I guess. But like things coming out of the rocket ship to like be like, I'm moving.
Rainbow farts.
All right.
This is what happens.
Yeah. You wanna beatbox us out, Chuck?
No, I don't want to. I thought about it, but I was put on the spot, and it just has to come to me, and it's not happening.
All right. Well, catch everybody next time.
Boom, boom.
You've been watching Whiskey Web and Whatnot, recorded in front of a live studio audience.
What the fuck are you talking about, Chuck?
Enjoyed the show? Subscribe.
You know people don't pay attention to these, right?
Head to whiskey.fun for merch and to join our Discord server.
I'm serious. It's like 2% of people who actually click these links.
And don't forget to leave us a 5-star review and tell your friends about the show.
All right, dude, I'm out of here.
Still got it.